Uprisers, hi, it's Trisha Lacroix with Sacred Uprising Institute and Conference, awakening you to the infinite love within you. So we're going to be doing a video here with Teri Stanley. She's going to be talking about our angels and guides. And so before she comes on, we had a little bit of technical difficulties where hopefully we resolve that. But before she comes on, I wanted to mention our Sacred Uprising conference that's going to take place September 18th, 19th, and 20th. Right outside of Santa Cruz, California. And it will be at, here we go, Teri. Yay. Okay. So our Sacred Uprising Institute is the conference that's going to be taking place in California. It has to do with awakening to the love that you are created from, infinite love, divine love, seeing God within yourself, rising to the God within, and to be the cosmic being that Bliss Prema talked about earlier today. So go to our website, which is sacreduprising.com. So Teri, we have a place for you, but we don't see you.
I don't see me either. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, but we can't see you.
Okay, because it's not working on my phone. So I went to my iPad and geez, let's see here.
Okay, so as Teri's trying to figure that out, so our Sacred Uprising Conference, like 18th, 19th, and 20th. Please go to sacreduprising.com and go take advantage of the early bird special there. In addition to that, go to our YouTube channel, which is Sacred Uprising. Just look for the peony, and you will be, if you subscribe, you'll be advised when new videos are uploaded. And every live video we do is uploaded within 24 hours. You can also subscribe to us on Instagram. You can follow us there as well. So let's see here. Teri, I'm adding you once again. Teri is our energy healer, and she has been has provided some. Yeah, now it's working. Yay! So Teri has given us some great lessons on whether it's on grounding and cord cutting. You've talked about our chakra system, and today talking about angels and guides, which I love that you do things like this, because so many, like for me, I might take it for granted that somebody just understands what I'm talking about when I discuss angels and guides, but so many people don't. So I love the fact that you have this conversation with us.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, as a healer, I bring in a lot of the things that I've been teaching. And so whenever I'm working on people, I always, always, always call in their angels and guides to assist me in helping them, because our angels and our guides have such a connection to us, have such love and compassion. They know our purpose and they know us better than we know ourselves. So
Right.
better to go to ask for assistance and when working with a client. So I love it. So angels are God's messengers. Okay.
Yes.
Angels themselves have never had a human existence. They've never been a human and they never will. That is an angel. So angels were created to be God's messengers, to do his will, to help us humans. They give us support, they give us guidance, and they give us comfort. Angels also have the greatest view of the world, of the earth, of its inhabitants, and of the universe. Every essence, thought, or feeling has a corresponding angel. So if you are desiring wisdom or patience or guidance, the list just goes on. Immediately when you invite the angel of wisdom in, or you could also phrase it as any angels that can help me get clearer insight, that have the wisdom to this situation, they immediately come right in and they blend their energy with you. So for us, typically when we're stressed out and we ask for an angel to come in and show us patience or to come in and show us guidance, or calmness, I mean, sometimes what happens is when we're in a stressful situation, if we just got news that a friend is on life support, or there was a car accident, or maybe our teenage daughter is going through something. I mean, there's a list. Our mind is going da 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 da. Our heart is beating really fast, and we keep on thinking of things very, very fast. Hi, Barry. Um, and when we call out, we don't take that pause to allow ourselves to be comforted or to feel the presence of an angel. So, whenever we call out and we're asking for assistance, it's best to take a pause. So, that means just take a deep breath in, exhale, and wait. Now, sometimes we may feel things and sometimes we don't, but we have to allow, we have to be able to reciprocate because this is a relationship. And sometimes we forget that. Sometimes we're in such need that we think that, oh, it's just going to happen. But actually, we're building rapport and we're allowing ourselves to have this lovely experience, this interaction. One other thing I wanted to say about feeling an angel or feeling a message is that we're all different. We're all individuals. So, some of us have the sixth sense, so some of us are going to see things, some of us are going to hear things, some of us are just going to know things, but there are ones who are not tapped into that. And it doesn't mean that you don't get the same messages. It's just that they're going to come to you how you're ready to receive them. So some people might hear a song on the radio that it gives them encouragement or that calms them down. Or you may actually see something like an animal. The animal totems are ways that angels will talk to us as well. Like yesterday, I was driving in my truck and I was having, I wouldn't say a panic attack, but I was thinking about things that I needed to get done, things that weren't getting done, and I could feel, myself getting elevated as I was driving. And it was in our neighborhood, thank goodness. And here comes this dove flying in front of my truck, tries to land in front of my truck. I don't want to hit a bird, so I'm like slamming. Yeah. And this is like the second time a dove had come in. Well, dove means peace, so being able to go look up that totem and be like, okay, well, what's the message here? What am I missing? So look around for
even numbers are another way that angels speak to us is through numbers. I look for things in the synchronicity of threes. So once I see something 3 times, I know I'm supposed to look it up. So that's just what works for me.
I got goosebumps. I do the same thing too. Things normally in threes, and it's like you're not listening.
Right.
But everybody's different, so being able to look for those synchronicities, is it the constant feather? Is there a symbolism, being able to look at the things that happen and be able to attach meaning to them, because nothing happens for coincidence. So
there are no coincidences, correct? Right. Even with angels, I view it, because I have, some friends that, that were raised religiously. So what I always say, because they have a concern, talking to angels, but should we go directly to God? But angels are just aspects of God, just like we are aspects of God, just like the mountains are aspects of God. It's all God. So talking to an angel is talking to an aspect. It's sort of like what Thoth, who's one of my guides, says, he's the fingers of God and he does writing. Word of God spoke in the book of Ezekiel, right? So he's the word of God. So it's just aspects, and you can tap into that. And since the angels, their energy is lower than source, all that is, we can feel them much stronger, or they can rush to our rescue the very second we call out to them.
Oh, yeah. And also angels, God created angels. They are his
Hmm.
messengers. Okay, so depending on what sect religion you have, Catholics, I was raised Catholic, so I know all about the saints and stuff. So there are
Right.
certain saints that we are allowed to go to for help, and different religions have different. I know they're not saints, they're other things, but other
Right.
deities or things
Hmm.
that, they can go to for help. Which brings me into, well, I'm going to go to the guardian angels next, but it's true. So, I mean, God sends them out to help us. They are, oh gosh, how do you say it? They are an expression of his love for,
Yes. Yep.
and they know exactly what God's plan is for all of us. And they have the same love vibration that God does for us. And they are there to do God's will. So I hope that eases some understanding or tension when it comes to calling upon angels to help you in times of need. If you do call upon God, he's gonna send that angel to you as well. So there's no right
Right.
or wrong way to do this. Guardian angels, so there's three different kinds of angels we have. We have the guardian angels, we have the ascended masters, and we have the archangels. So our guardian angels are with us from the time we are born to the time we die, and they are 100% committed to us. Now, we'll have other angels that will come in and out of our life depending on the reason and the season, but the guardian angel is the one that stays with us. Some people have one and some have more than one, like two. I haven't heard about anybody having three, but anything's possible. So
Anything
uh,
possible. Right.
anything's possible. So then with the ascended masters are guides. They have had a human experience. They have had a human life. And because of that, they're best suited to be a guide for us. They understand where we're coming from. They understand our problems, our emotions. Um, Jesus was an ascended master. Isis, El Moria, Kuan Yin, Buddha, Mother Mary, all of them can be your guide. Um, they are wise, they're elevated souls, so they have a very, very high vibration. Um, those guides and ascended masters, you kind of use them together, are the ones that come to you with messages, most
Hmm.
likely. An angel will come and help you. Not saying you don't get messages from angels, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying most of them will come from guides because they're trying to direct you, they're trying to help you. They frequently teach and are here to help with your life, your problems, and they're to help you stay on your purpose, on your path. They're either they help you develop it, they help you find it. Um, because they've lived on earth, they have a lot of compassion for us, which is awesome. So they understand. They're committed to your life and understand you more than you do, which is awesome.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So we each come with a set of inner band guides. Kuan Yin is my girl. I know she's
Yeah.
pretty
I
awesome.
love Kanye and Veronica.
So we have an inner band, okay? And this inner band is also with us from the time that we are born to the time we die. It consists anywhere between 5 to 7 guides. It really depends on your purpose in this life, how many guides you're going to have. Because there's some of them that come in for like mediumship skills, okay, that help you with that. And as a healer, you get an extra one for healing. Um, and so we have those inner bands, and for the most part, they stay with you. If all of a sudden you have elevated your vibration extremely high, then one may come out and be replaced with another one to match that vibration and go up a little bit higher with you. But it's rare, but it does happen.
Well,
And then your
when I
outer
heard
band.
well, hold on. Well, when I started out on this journey, assigned archangel was Uriel. I love Uriel. I love Uriel. However, Uriel was replaced. I got a new assigned archangel, which is Archangel Raziel. So angels will come in and out dependent on what your new journey is, when you've gotten to a certain level and you're going on a new path, a new mission, you can potentially get a new archangel that will help you through that mission.
Mm-hmm.
When Uriel, for example, was my archangel, he would come and speak to me, and I would be able to channel what Uriel was saying. He was teaching me about God. He was teaching me about the love of the universe. He was teaching me. He opened my heart and my soul. Uriel is Archangel Raziel is the archangel that knows the secrets of God. He stands next to the throne of God. And so he speaks to me about things that just expand me to a new awareness and a new consciousness. So I'm just talking about this so people understand that it can happen. And when it does happen, I asked Uriel, but are you coming back? And he's like, I'm always with you. But
Right.
it's a new
Right.
journey now.
Right. Now you get new assistants. Right.
Right.
So in our inner band, we have one of your guides in your inner band is called a spiritual advisor. And when I first started my journey in mediumship, I had one specific spiritual advisor. And then about a year later, all of a sudden, when we went in and we checked to see what was going on, I ended up getting a new one. The other one left and said, now you need this one because you need these teachings, these guidings. So it's
Right.
definitely, it definitely happens. But I was told that, typically your inner band will stay with you unless you raise your vibration. And then, you have to get that support. So they're going to swap out. But for the most part, they're kind of like the same. But yeah, whatever our purpose is, they're there to assist in any way, shape, or form.
Right.
So going in.
With your ascended masters, do you know which ascended masters that are working with you? I know my core group, it extends from Moses to Jesus. Isaiah is a big player. Enoch is huge for me. But do you know who yours are? And do you have any suggestions? Because mine, I'm gifted, so I've been very blessed where I see them walk in and and they won't speak to me until I figure out who they are. But for other people who haven't awakened to the gift of seeing, how would one know who their ascended masters who are working with them are?
I was going to save this to the end, but ba-bum.
There we go. Sorry.
No, it's perfect. It's perfect. So when we're learning about ascended masters, or we don't have, we're not awakened to seeing them or whatever, tools are the best thing that you can do. And Doreen Virtue was my first. I'm sure she's not the only one, but I have these oracle cards because she was my first exposure to the archangels in depth. And so in this deck, there's 15 archangels, and you can go ahead and read how to pull the cards, whichever one you're drawn to, or just pick 3, with your question being, who is working with me now? Okay. And then you pick 3 cards and see which ones are working with you now. And then they give specific instructions on how to work with them, why they're in your life. And so that kind of opens up the pathway, I think, for people who are unfamiliar or are not as comfortable but want to get more comfortable. The more you develop the relationship, you get to start sensing their energy, just like, when you call me and I'm like, oh, hi, there's a certain feeling,
Yes,
like when you see someone or you think about someone, there's a certain feeling or a certain energy that you feel, and you will develop this as you work with your archangels. So that's one way, or ascended master.
In fact, one of the ways
Archangel.
that archangels one of
There
the
we go.
ways that archangels will start introducing themselves to you, if you have the gift, if you've awakened to the gift of seeing, it is what they've done to me. They will show me their wings, and I fixate on their feathers, and I learn the vibration of them by when they show me their wings. And that's very, very common with archangels, is that they will show you their wings. So now when I feel that vibration walk in the room, I immediately know who it is. But it's the same with the ascended masters that I work with, whether it's, you know, Mary Magdalene or the Marys, you know, whether it is Hathor or Sarah or Isaiah or Enoch. They will come in, and because they have, when they first introduce themselves to me initially, I learn the vibration. So then when they walk in the room, I don't even have to see them anymore. I know who's there. I can hear them, but I may not see them, but I can clearly feel their vibration. So
Yeah.
it's just, it's really beautiful how they'll work with you. But you know, you can get the cards. You can also, it's one of the things that I do, is that if people want to contact me, that when I do a soul coaching, I will actually, their guides will introduce themselves to me, so I can then let them know who their guides are, and then I can provide messages from their guides. So it's just another way. If you're not seeing, there's the oracle cards, and if you need something else, you know, there's also people like me, many people like me out there that can assist.
Definitely, definitely. For me, I've just always known. For me, it's a
Yeah,
knowing. So for me, it was, sorry, I was showing you guys the wrong deck before, but it's still Doreen Virtue, and she's got both of
yeah,
them. But for me, it was going through the cards to get used to because I'm so visual, what their faces look like. And then sometimes I would just hear their name and I'd be like, oh, okay. And then I would feel the vibration. So first it's just a knowing or a seeing, and then it becomes the feeling. So yeah, that's great. And it's good that you do that for people too. So it gives
yeah.
them.
It's important because they can feel closer to them. You know, there's certain archangels that you do hear their voice, and I'll hear him. I call my human ears, like Gabriel yelled his name in my ear when I was in the car with my kids in a drive-through, and I jumped. I felt the angel. I saw the feathers. I'm like, who is this? Is it male? I feel male, no female. And I kept going back and forth, and all of a sudden, Gabriel in my left ear. And so, and then he showed me all these things that I needed to know. So it's really beautiful how they work with us, and they're always with us. And I'm sorry, I want to jump in and say this as well. I have so much to say about angels and guides, but one of the first visions that I had was I was downtown Chicago at the time, and I was living here in Vegas. But my vision was I was downtown, and I saw angels just going up to people and hugging them, and then going up to the next one. And I saw people walking around, you know, at the time, you want the Sears Tower, you know, walking around, and people are going on their way to work. They're getting on the train, and angels are just going up behind and hugging them. And it was in that moment I realized all the love that is truly out there. We have no idea. Whatever thoughts that we have going on and the worries that we have going on, we have angels that are loving on us, and we're not even aware of it. So just know how supported that we truly, truly are.
Okay, so I haven't told anybody about this, so you're my first. You guys are my first. So I was in Vegas this weekend. I was out there for a really quick trip, and I was having breakfast, and I was just people watching. And I could sense the angels just following them, talking, sending love and everything. And it was beautiful. And then you could see, people are going through their things,
Yeah.
people are, and you had some that were excited, some that weren't. And there was just behind them, just this little trail, with
Yeah.
each person just kind of piggybacking, just,
Yeah.
elevated a little bit, but it was really quite cool to see. And I had never seen that
Yes.
before. It was something I knew, but to actually
Right.
witness it was
Witness
actually
it. Right.
very cool. And in a place like
Right.
Vegas,
Well, you know, and I'll say, you know, and I live in Vegas. Veronica lives in Vegas, who's watching right now. But the thing is, you know, Deepak Chopra said something that I found that was so beautiful. He said, Vegas is the most spiritual city. And the person he said it to was in an interview said, are you kidding me? He goes, yeah, because in Vegas, you have to choose. You have to make a choice in Vegas. And the thing is, as many of us locals talk about it, if you leave before you're meant to leave, you're always going to come back. Because Vegas is a ground where you have to make a choice. Are you going to choose the light? Or are you going to choose the dark? You have to make a choice. And I've come back to Vegas like three times, I think. And now I know, I finally was told I'm released. I can go now. It's okay. So, but that's just something that we know here in Vegas. But yeah, I think that's beautiful because Vegas, yeah, it is a very spiritual town. Yes, despite the one street in Vegas, that's the Strip, there is a huge spiritual community, but we all know you got to make a choice here. There's no, if you're
Right.
thinking you're going to straddle that fence, I'm sorry, you can't straddle the fence here in Vegas. You got to make a choice. Yeah, Veronica. Yeah, I tell people that. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yeah, so it was quite a blessing. It was nice to
Yeah,
just
that's
see it
beautiful.
and have fun with it and stuff like that.
Right.
Um, okay, so now on to the archangels.
Yes.
Uh, they're God's missionaries to give earth love and compassion. So they help us with our everyday lives. They protect us, they guide us, they bring us comfort. It sounds like everybody does the same thing, but it's just a little bit different. Their emphasis is a little bit different. Um, in my reading, it said because archangels have no space restrictions, they can be anywhere simultaneously. I kind of believe that angels, archangels, ascended masters all fall underneath that, where they're not limited in any way. And the
Right.
reason why this is being brought up is because there has been some fear at some level that says that, well, if I'm asking for this angel's help, I'm taking it away from someone else. And that's simply not true because they could be everywhere, anywhere at the same time. So if they're helping you, they're helping someone else too. So please don't ever use that as an excuse to withhold you from the beauty and the power and the love of getting divine assistance. Okay.
I like
Um,
to think of it. I like to think of it as the trees that have that underground, or like bamboo that has the underground root,
so-
but all the shoots come off the root. And so that's how it is with the angels. That vibration is, it's limitless, but when you call it, shoots right up to you.
right, exactly. So these archangels work in concert with our guardian angels, which I thought was interesting as well. Um, You can, Archangel is for protection, Raphael is for healing, Uriel is for intelligent guidance. Shemuel helps you see things. So if something is lost or you need more direction on your purpose or trying to find a career, you can call specifically upon a certain archangel to help you. So, like, I always call Archangel Michael in to help cut cords, to help clear my energy, my chakras, clients' energies, clients' chakras, whatever needs to happen there. And then, whenever there's a specific thing that I really need help in, then I will go ahead and call on a specific archangel, just like we were already talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And for, oh, another thing, angels show up how we need them to show up. So if you think that angels need to have wings, they're going to have wings. If you think that an angel needs to be male, it's going to show up as a masculine. If you think it has to be female, it's going to show up as a female. Uh, but we've been told that angels don't have a sex, but they have male qualities or masculine qualities and feminine qualities because sometimes we need to call on the strength that would be a male, but then the flexibility that would be a female. So whatever angel, archangel, ascended master, it's going to appear to you however you need it to appear. So the reason why that's important to know is because everybody's experience is going to be just a little bit different. And this is to encourage you to find within yourself who is your angel, what did they look like to you, how do they appear to you, so that you're not discouraged because it showed up for somebody else a certain way and it shows up for you different doesn't mean that you did it wrong. Okay, it's just that That's your personality, and that's what blends for you, and that's what works for you. Now, you remember when we were talking about numbers, how things have
Yes.
to come in threes? Well, people also, there are some people who are not into, the feeling of an angel, and they're more into the visual, like numbers, like they see patterns with numbers everywhere. Well, there's also Doreen Virtue brought out another book, Angel Numbers, but you could Google angel numbers and get different
Yeah.
sources. It does
You,
it doesn't have to
yeah.
be her,
My
but
favorite website is sacredangelnumberscribe.com, and that one I personally think it's better than Doreen Virtues. It gives you a ton of information. It goes up to like 5,000. And actually, my show producer, if she can put into the notes, sacredangelscribenumber.com, a link here so people can find it. It gives you so much information.
right, which is what you want when you're,
Right.
into numerology and you're looking at
Yeah.
patterns and stuff like that. And it's great because then that becomes another way that angels communicate just to you. And
Right.
my very first, it's so funny. I was going through my storage unit and I came across a book that I hadn't seen since 1996. And this is called Angels Speak: How to Talk with Your Angels. And it's a beautiful step by step for those that want to dive a little bit deeper into, well, how can I communicate with my angels? That's one reference. And then another one is this one. This one's really good too. Ask Your Angels. They give you a lot of different exercises for going in and communicating with your angels, different areas of communication, really to expand your relationship with the angel realm. So,
Right.
and then
Yeah.
also there's an essential oil that helps too. Where is my camera? So, White Angelica. This happens to be Young Living. I don't know if doTERRA has one or not, but this one has been known to help you communicate more with your angels as well as provide protection. And then there's also angel aura pendants
Yep.
for
Yep.
crystals.
Yep.
There are certain ones like Celestide is another one that helps open up communication with the angelic world. Quartz crystal does it for me as well. Any of the crystals do actually. But so those are just different things that you can do to invite the angels in, to start to learn how to play in those energies, to really start to experience them. So
So I want
I
to,
hope.
yeah. So years ago, when I started out this journey, I had somebody teach me about where guides come in, certain guides and certain and angels. So I want to cover that real quick with people because it helped me. Now my angels and guides don't follow this rule that I learned because now I just know their vibration. But I want to be able to talk to people about it so then they can start learning. So what I was taught, okay, there's no right or wrong. But now that I'm going to tell you, now you guys will know because this is how they're going to start showing up, okay? So on your left, if I feel something on my left like diagonally out from me, that is an angel or a guide meaning an ascended master, an archangel. That's where they present themselves. If it is somebody who has passed away and is one of my guides, it will be somebody, I'll feel something on my right. Now, so that is how I started learning. Okay, wait, okay, I feel a male over here on my right. I feel a male. Okay, and then I would dive into the energy, knowing I don't have to look for an angel. I need to look for somebody who passed away. But when it was over on my left, and I could feel a female or a male, I would know, okay, this is an angel or guide. Let me figure out who it is. And I would dive into, jump into the energy. So that was a simple way. So when you feel something on a certain side, now that I said this, for those of you who don't know who it is, now this is how they're going to start presenting themselves to you. Until like me, and now they just show up, and I just know their vibration. I don't need a right or a left side any longer. So I wanted to throw that in. And I know you and I talked about this vaguely. You weren't going to jump into it, but I want to jump into it just a tad bit. We have different guides that are with us. So I have my primary guide, who is my grandmother, my grandma Wenzel. She is my primary spirit guide. She is just guiding me through life. I have above my head my father, who is my protective spirit guide, and he protects me. They don't talk to me that often. In fact, the person I go to who gives me readings, her name is Leanne Lilly. She's one of my friends on Facebook. What she told me, she goes, Trisha, you're so up with your ascended masters and source, you're missing out on your dad and all these other guides you have with you who want to talk to you, but you're like way up there. So I try to bring my vibration down so I can hear their messages as well. And then on my left, there's a guide, and it's divine timing. And I didn't know who it was. I could see this person, but I didn't know who it was. Well, it turned out being Charles, my boyfriend. So it's his higher self that stands to my left. And then you told me, which I found was beautiful, a couple months ago, I got attacked pretty viciously energetically, but I saw a sword right in front of my face, and they kept tapping my third eye. Well, there is a warrior guide that stands next to us, and that's how you know, because it was funny. She said, yeah, when you see a guide and they do something right near your face, I was like, oh my God, that's what's been happening to me. So I have a warrior guide as well. And there was another one that you brought up, and I can't remember what it was.
So our inner band of guides, you have your master on your head, you have your warrior either on your chest or on your face, your gatekeeper in your back. You have your healer guide on your, well, for a lot of people, it's on their left. For me, it's on my right. I have my spiritual advisor on my right. It's supposed to be on your left. And then you have your chemist, which is kind of down low. And you have your joy guides as well. And that is all your inner band. And then you have your outer band, which are the angels, other guides that can come in and out. Your outer band is going to be, those could be your deceased loved ones.
Right.
You know, we all have them. And then I was taught the ascended masters are up above your head. Like mine, I see mine are, they're so, I have a weird sense of humor. So mine sit on a cloud and look down at me.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, mine are in like a council. Like it's a round table, and I can sit there and talk to them. Yeah. But it was interesting because Thoth is one of my guides, and I've seen him with my human eyes, and I was like, who is this? And it took a couple months for him to finally enter. They don't tell me who they are. I get obsessed with stuff, and that's how I go down roads and figure out who they are. And so it's Thoth. And what Thoth told me, and Thoth I channel quite a bit, he told me, he said, nobody is going to come into your life that I am not going to allow. And those that are not supposed to be in your life, I will kick them out. And I was like, okay. And that was my year and a half of not dating, of going through this change within me. And so when you said your gatekeeper, I'm like, oh my God, that's Thoth. Thoth is my gatekeeper, because he will not, I don't care how hard I try. In fact, now that I'm doing this conference, I thought, I'll do consulting work on the side in the industry that I've always known. And I will get right up to the point of signing the contract with the company, and they disappear. They literally disappear. These CEOs of companies that go, yes, Trisha, we want you. Yes, we'll pay you. And they disappear. Right. And I'm like, that's Thoth. Thoth is like, no, he's not allowing it.
Exactly. And that goes back to, they know what our purpose is. Yes. They know exactly what we're supposed to be doing, and they're going to do everything they can to guide us, protect us, and keep us on that path.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's another thing of looking at, when doors close, it's not always a bad thing. It could be the greatest thing ever. It's a matter of perception. How are you willing to look at it? Are you willing to look at it as, I'm being watched out for? Or, I just prevented a huge mistake, Right. So they're awesome. They're awesome. They're always, great. When you open yourself up to experience them and allow that relationship to grow. Yours was all about, digging and finding out all the little nooks and crannies, everything that you possibly could about thought. Well, that's developing that relationship,
It
and
is. It
the
is.
more.
And what's so beautiful is because I can hear him, and when I hear him, I'll talk into my phone and record it, but then I'll go research about whatever guide that just presented themselves, and then I am totally validated because all of a sudden it starts telling me all these things that he just told me, or whatever guide it may be. Enoch was another huge one, that when he walked in the room, I was at a friend's house, the TV turned off, like nope, it just, and everyone just stopped, and I'm like, oh my God, somebody's here. And he was huge. And I thought, because his vibration felt like Moses, but I knew it wasn't Moses, and he wouldn't say anything until I said, oh my God, it's Enoch. As soon as I said those words, he walked up to me and he did this thing on me that would take a long time to explain. So it's really, when you know who your guide is, and then you can go research it, because Google has a lot of stuff. I go on Google and I look up a lot of things, or I'll get a book and I don't know why I bought a book, and then all of a sudden I look and there it is. But once you know, you can work with them in a deeper way. It's sort of like having a friendship. Like, Teri, you and I are, having this, great conversation. But when you meet in person, and when you can look eye to eye and have these great conversations, all of a sudden that friendship goes deeper, and that bond is built. And that's what happens with our guides. When you know who they are, when you utilize people who have those gifts to be able to tell you, that changes everything, because you can work with them, you can feel them stronger. They start working with you, where you can feel it and you know it, and you have this sense of peace as well, because your guides are involved.
Oh, exactly. I mean, all of a sudden now you have this really special connection, and there is a treasure to it.
Oh, yes. Yes, absolutely. I love this conversation. I'm I love the angels, the guardian angels. I think they're amazing. The archangels, there's also thrones, and their wings go straight up. There's the seraphim, who I was hearing while Bliss was doing her video. I'm hearing the seraphim because I was having visions as she was talking. So we talked afterwards. I'm like, oh my God, Bliss. So there's so much out there for us, that just tap into it. And you can only tap into it when you're silent. That's where the truth is, in the silence. That's where you'll find yourself. That's where you'll find source. That's where you'll find your angels and your guides and everything that is out there. When we say that the universe is there supporting you and holding you, trust me, everything is working for you. You just have to trust.
Right. And we just barely scratched the surface on
Oh
Angel.
yeah, there's so much,
It was
right?
enough to get people's palates wet, and to start doing their own searches and start having their own experiences. But I mean, we only touched on a little bit. So please don't think that, oh, this was it. No, it's so much bigger than what we brought up today. And the joy now is for you. The gift is for you to figure that out for yourself, and take it where
Yeah.
you want to take it, because it's just gonna be the most loving, mind-blowing experience that, if you're open to it, you're gonna have.
That's awesome. So Terry, let people know how they can get in contact with you and how you can assist them in their journey.
Okay. Well, I am a healer. So in the areas that you may be struggling in, whether it be pain, whether it be emotions and other blocks, when you're feeling a little bit stuck, I can help you get through those things. And we have intimate discussions where we go in deep and we discuss what it is that's creating these issues. And then we go ahead and we use your angels and guides to help us clear those out in a space that is just for you, at a pace that is just right for you as well. And so you could find me at Teri Stanley's Holistic Healing, or Teri's Holistic Healing. Both is on Facebook, Yelp. My website is teristanley.net. And you can find me through Trisha as well.
I'm so glad that you're here. And being that I mentioned it, If anybody wants assistance in meeting your guides and getting messages from your guides, just message me here on Facebook, or you can email me at sacreduprisingconference@gmail.com. So Teri, thank you so much for being here today. I'm so grateful for this conversation. I really want to do a video where some of us talk about our experiences and the visions that we've had that would be beneficial to other people to understand just how our guides and our angels work with us. So that's something that I need to pin now, and I need to do that.
You know what? And that would be really good too. And then we could have people comment down below as well, and we can make it really interactive. That would be fun.
In fact, yeah, I think that would be a lot of fun. And maybe we can do it in a way where if people want to come on the video as well to add what they've experienced, we can add them so they can tell their experience as well. It will be just a celebration of how we're held, and how exciting and wonderful everything that it is of the universe is, and how it's watching over us. So yeah, I'd like to do that.
That'd be fun. I love it.
Well, until next time, just remember, everyone, dissolve into love for the rest of the week, because love is what the universe is made from. It is what you are, and dissolve into it. Become one with it, because that's where the abundance is. That's where the flow is. And everything that you ever desired is right on the other end of you just losing yourself and becoming love. And that's how you call in the one. All right, everybody, have a great week. We'll see you on Monday with Dak. All right, bye.
Bye.